What up, guys? Welcome to the podcast that nobody asked for.
No, I'm changing my Nobody asked for my...
What's going on? Are you starting now?
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
so confusing.
Yeah, sorry. Big Daddy had to change his shirt.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Big Daddy's got to change his shirt. What up, guys? Welcome to the podcast that nobody asked for. I'm your host, Ryan Aft. We are doing an episode today on the importance of writing and how it can affect your life. So, oh wait, they're right here.
What, notebooks? Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk a little bit about writing every morning. This is an exercise I try to do just to sort of get ideas flowing in my head and stuff like that. So, today I brought 3 journals with me, all of which I try to really ingrain the process of writing every morning, like whenever I get out of bed. That way, first of all, I just get all of the thoughts that are coming out of my mind for that morning directly on paper. So, for example, one of the main things I like to write about when I first wake up is the dreams that I've had. That way I remember them, and that way when I read back, I'll be able to remember the dreams in vivid detail, because that's the only way you're going to do it. Right after getting out of bed, you write down those dreams in vivid detail, and all of a sudden it just creates like a bridge to be able to lucid dream. Immediately after. Well, yeah, exactly. Because if you brush your teeth and then
you start getting up, you take a step, anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Blood starts flowing, your brain starts moving. No, you don't want to. Just write it down.
Write it down.
Recorder too. A recorder helps.
A recorder, yeah, exactly. A recorder also helps. Very good. I think the recorder does very good for driving, because everyone has these crazy thoughts while driving, road rage, all this stuff that they want to get down. But, you're not going to be able to look on your phone and type it all down. You're not going to be able to sit there and write.
It's a hazard.
I've been guilty of writing in my journal
while driving?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like on my way to work. I used to work
You're not just texting and driving. You got a book in front of your hands?
Yeah, I used to work at this call center, and I would just be, like, on my way there, I would just be writing in my journal how much I don't want to go. This journal right here lasted me about 2 months to get through. I've literally been just half of this is me talking about how shitty my job is. Also, yeah. And that's the cover, if you guys are watching on YouTube and want to see that. But some trippy stuff you guys can get at Earthbound. Not sponsored, just saying. Cool little hippie store. They have cool journals like this. Having a cool journal like this also sort of helps you be inspired to write, Incentive, exactly. It makes you want to open it and finish it and actually make it like a complete art project. So I just try to get my creativity flowing every day. I have all kinds of stuff. I remember seeing this sort of image one time while I was on some psychedelics, and I drew it down in my book just so I remember, and that way I can look back on it, and it's...
Are those pyramids upside down?
They're upside down, yes.
Are they hanging?
They're hanging, yeah. So I remember...
Okay, you gotta explain this.
I remember in my vision, I saw... I was sort of like flying... Like, I closed my eyes and I was flying through a ton of pyramids that were just whizzing by my head, and all of them were upside down. It was like I was on a different planet with... imagine...
Is there a floor, too?
I couldn't see the floor. The pyramids were so huge. So imagine that the pyramids of Giza are like spaceships. Mm-hmm. Well, not even upside down, but the way my vision was, they were upside down.
Was that big?
Yeah, exactly. And I was it's like it was 2 planets, and I was on the bottom planet, and then the pyramids were on the top planet, and they were like spaceships. They all had eyes on them. Some of them, the tops were like coming off. And this is why I write stuff down as soon as I'm done having these thoughts, because...
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, the dog just came in the room. Hi, Bruce. Want to get on the podcast? Up. Ah, there he is. Good boy.
Bruce.
Good boy.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Get out of here.
All right, that was Bruce, guys. So, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Where were we? We were talking about...
We're talking about upside down pyramids.
Upside down pyramids. So, yeah, that's why I like to sort of draw the visions that I have. Stuff like that.
That's fantastic. You got any more psychedelic visions?
I had this guitar that I was sort of gifted / sold a bunch of guitars and a bunch of sort of gear to build guitars. I might do some videos on that, sort of luthery and woodworking, stuff like that.
Rest in peace, Craig.
Rest in peace, Craig. And basically, I just started drawing guitars that I wanted to build since that day, just whatever creative sort of workings I want to get through in my mind. Let's see. Don't worry about that one. And then this sort of is just what my mind looks like. So in the very beginning of the book, I sort of customize it to the best of my ability. And yeah, so this was the beginning of 2021 when I first decided, all right, I'm becoming older. The career I want to be able to be creative, and I want to be able to make it with I want to be able to support myself doing what I love and being creative and not really having to do the same robotic thing every day. So that's where writing came from. It came out of sort of just trying to get the creativity on a physical piece of parchment paper that I can look at and is physically there, and that I just sort of
because most of the time, if you don't, it's gone. It's gone.
Even
you're never gonna remember.
Even in your notes app, if you write it down in your notes app,
you're not gonna go back.
Who goes back into their notes app?
Dude, I always write down notes, important stuff.
My notes
never
app,
go back.
My notes app is so
full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
so. Recently, I started this podcast idea. Basically, every time I come across an idea for a podcast, this is one of them. I put this little I don't know if you can see right there. I make this little podcast mark.
Okay.
So that way I can just go back to it and be able to make a podcast about it. So I have podcast ideas ranging from writing to fitness, which I did yesterday, to I can't think of any more right now, but I'm sure there's more if I look in there. I haven't really done too much digging, but
we both just worked long hours.
We both just worked very long hours. We were recording in the evening.
Because we're not quitters.
We're not quitters. We gotta keep making our money. That way we can support the podcast. We're gonna be getting a whole bunch of new equipment, a whole bunch of cameras, a whole bunch of lights, stuff like that. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing because we love it.
Ryan has very exciting things for you guys.
I do.
Very exciting.
Do I?
Yes.
I have very exciting things for you guys. Per Jesus.
Yes.
All right. How do I not go crazy that after that life I had? I guess I'll try therapy, but that wouldn't make me feel more crazy. What made me crazy? My childhood, my parents, my job, drugs, the pandemic, society itself. Whatever the cause, it's up to me to return to reality and make the life for myself that I truly desire.
Back to reality. Oh,
there goes gravity. Oh, there goes me rabbit. Oh, no gravity knows he won't gravity. Oh, no gravity. Oh,
I can't survive with this 9 to 5.
The upside down pyramids.
I can't feed my daughter.
So let's see what ideas I have.
Prima donna.
My life is no more than a video game for higher dimensional beings, just like a 2D video game is entertainment for us. How do we talk about that? Where do we go from that?
It's called The Looking Glass.
The Looking Glass?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The Looking Glass. The Looking Glass implies an observer. And implies a surface and a world behind this surface.
More or less a fifth dimensional surface or something along those lines.
Yes. In this case, the fifth dimensional being is you, the surface, your eyeballs, and the other world is reality that we're in right now.
Cool.
That is, you're looking through the glass.
So I'm just looking through a fourth dimensional glass right now where I am in reality, and then the fifth is sort of...
So we're moving up to the fifth, but really, all souls exist in all dimensions.
All souls exist in... Yeah, exactly.
But
we're
not aware, of all of them,
Yeah, this is...
Take your time.
Sorry, this is something my friend Alexi said. I'm going to get him on the podcast pretty soon. We've been planning on doing an episode. He's very into all that spiritual stuff. He was talking about how a human being soul is like a giant crystal, and each side of that crystal is like a different reality. And this reality that we're chilling in right now is one side of that crystal. Like this screen we're looking at, that's just one side of the crystal, and then it's just an infinite crystal.
I like to think of it as a distortion.
A distortion.
Actually, yes.
Go on.
Well, because you know what they say, all powerful God, love,
yes.
All is love, yada yada, pure energy,
creative intelligence.
Exactly.
I like creative intelligence.
Okay, that I would say is undistorted, pure, and if you want to call it a crystal, it would be an opal.
An opal.
No corners.
It'll all be smooth.
Smooth, no corners.
Reality's smooth.
Not a perfect circle. I use opal for a reason.
Never a perfect circle. Just like Earth's not a perfect circle. Like it's
exactly.
It's like an what's the word? Spheroid?
No, it's actually a perfect circle.
The Earth?
So apparently,
is the Earth not okay? Go on.
Apparently, to Neil deGrasse Tyson, it's smoother than a cue ball.
Smoother than a cue ball
in pool billiards.
But
If you shrink down Earth and roll it on a table, you wouldn't hear the mountains. Apparently.
Well, yeah,
That's how big it is.
I'm not saying that it's smooth, not as smooth as a cube ball. I'm just saying the way that the Earth is shaped because of the poles. That it's sort of the width of Earth is bigger than the height of Earth. You know what I mean? So Earth is just
a little short,
just a little bit short. Yeah, it's like an opal. That's why I like that reality.
Okay.
That's why I like that reality is like an opal because Earth is like an opal kind of.
So, yeah, if you think of pure energy, pure love as pure, then it's safe to assume everything else is a distorted view of that purity.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is just distortions, and then
kind of like looking at pureness, but with the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Never really actually looking at
everything is always pure. Everything in life is always good. It's just the way that we perceive it isn't always.
Yes.
And everyone gets these distorted visions. Everyone gets these distorted sort of desires. I don't know if you guys ever played a game called Persona 5. You'll hear this a little bit in that game. But they basically, maybe like a school teacher, like his original desires was to so in this video game, there's this sort of pedophile school teacher who his original desires were to just go to school, teach kids how to play volleyball, be a good coach. But eventually his desires got distorted to sort of become the king of the school. He's the gym teacher, he's the fucking boss. And he starts abusing his volleyball students, both male and female, and he starts to
This is a video game?
This is a video game. Yeah, dude, we need to play this.
Is it a crime investigation video game?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you more about it later. So basically, you go into the subconsciouses of people, and the subconsciouses are projected into sort of actual places. So the school, his distorted desires is actually his castle because he sees the school as his castle. Just like someone in real life, for example, I don't want to get into spoilers, but and then the second person, he's like he works as like an art teacher, and he has a little studio. In his studio, he sees as this giant, extravagant Louvre, however you pronounce it, the art gallery that's in France.
I don't know.
So people are gonna get mad at me for that.
The art gallery in France? Who gives a fuck?
It's the fucking larva.
That's like the oldest fucking...
The fucking larva.
Nobody cares about that.
Exactly.
We've seen all that shit.
The one guy watching this from France is like...
Oh, they're pissed off.
They're pissed, and
no, there's some pretty good statues.
We're not
they got the famous Monet. They got a guy she got
anyway,
good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, life is essentially pure. It's just the way that people perceive things that creates distortions, and that's why reality is the way it is. And that's why people
grow up to be distorted.
And that's why a lot of people have to grow up with all these hardships because... Yeah, exactly.
And in the same way that we, human beings, regressed into evil, and that took time, it's going to take time to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not ripping a Band-Aid. It's not really ripping a Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. The world doesn't need peace. The people in the world need peace.
Yes. And we need to get to work with that.
We need to get to work.
The peace will come maybe, 5 generations later. If we get to work now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things are crazy. I remember seeing on the news today, this is going to become a huge thing, especially...
the China thing? The Russia thing? There's so many things going on right now.
The climate thing, I don't know if we want to talk about climate, we might cut this part out, but...
I don't know. I don't know what
the science is fucking with me because they said that within 5 years, the temperature is going to go up to like a critical,
Maybe because they say that and then they drop the bombs and they say, "See, I told you." It's the same fucking people. The same fucking people.
That was a good one. We can leave that in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I should get into competitive eating. That was an idea I had in here.
Was it really?
Yeah. Because I eat so fucking fast. Why? Because I eat really fast and I can eat a lot.
But you know what? Excuse me.
You're good.
But you don't want to.
I don't want to fuck on my body. The thing is, those competitive eaters take really good. Well, I mean, the thing is that they eat lettuce the whole rest of the week. They're buff. They are buff, and then they eat
weird.
Yeah, because they eat lettuce the whole rest of the week, and then that one day they just scarf down 47 hot dogs or more.
That's so bad. It's gonna bite you in the ass. like in 20 years?
Yeah, I don't know.
The liver's gonna kill you.
I mean,
hot dog champion
it's
is
still,
a one-time thing.
It's still a pretty satisfying
It's
life.
not actually. That one little Chinese dude.
Yeah.
That one little Asian.
The one
he
little
always
Asian.
won Coney Island.
Always, really?
I don't know. He had a good streak though. He had a 3-year streak
what was his
or a
name?
4-year streak. Don't know his name.
Interesting.
Jamie, pull it up.
Jamie, yeah. Oh my God. Joe Rogan reference number 4 for you guys.
See, this is where I should have a sampler.
A sampler?
You know the thing with the box with the squares?
I know
and the
exactly what you're
beats?
talking about, yeah.
I'm not a fan of that shit, but if I could put samples on it, okay.
We
Give it to me.
We're not a fan of it, but we want it.
I guess we need it. Everybody has it.
We
so.
don't. Yeah. David Bowie. Well, what else? We're not cutting this out. We're leaving all this in. Just us.
This right here?
No.
Yeah, leave it in.
Leave it in.
And then, yeah, make a video of just the pauses.
That's it. It will do good. All right.
Or make that the blooper. The blooper is all the pauses from the video.
All right. So Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Dante. Dante Alighieri. This is his set. We gotta do a full episode on
Dante.
We gotta do our research
Inferno.
and do a full episode. Sorry for cutting off. He's because this is the 700th anniversary of his death this year. I think coming in September, so that'd be a very interesting full video to do on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Dante's Inferno is the ultimate sort of book or poem or gallery or whatever you want to call it of distorted desires and people suffering for them and people sort of, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
It goes into each sin in detail, poetically.
Poetic, yeah.
Everybody hates it. A lot of people hate it. Most people can't stand poems. You know, they don't even imagine it. It takes effort.
Yeah, exactly. What they like reading it or writing it?
Reading it.
Yeah, of course, it does take effort. But the thing is that it's definitely the earliest like form of what it is, and it's
700 years ago.
Yeah, and you know, it's understandable English. I get it takes effort to read. It's just when you realize what he's saying, the wording actually is pretty beautiful when you put yourself like as a like the newer generation who didn't really grow up with modern or with like rock music and metal and stuff. When I listen to that music now, I put myself in the position of someone who would have listened to it back then when it first came out. So that's the way I try to listen to everything. And that's the same way I try to read Dante's Inferno in the point of view of someone all the way back then who hardly even knew how to read, and it's just like reading these words and understanding these very vivid descriptions.
Yeah.
In their terms of how these people are being tortured and what they did. And also it was very interesting to learn about all the people, like all the individuals from that time and the crimes that they did and how a lot of them relate to Dante. And I just think that putting yourself in the position of like those sort of old-timey Shakespearean things, like I know these days it's a little daunting, but it can also help expand your vocabulary. And I've literally been thinking in like and ye old
Twas.
Yeah, twas and all that good stuff, and it's been making me feel like I'm better than everyone else. But no, I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty interesting. You know, it's where we came from. So time.
It was the year 1200s, so there
1200s.
was still crusades at the time. This is before the Renaissance. It's actually, you're right. It's a pretty ultimate poem. It's before anything before 1400 is, and at that artistic level is astounding.
1400 was the Renaissance, right?
It was the beginning. 1500s booming.
1500s. That's that.
Booming. Alchemical desires everywhere.
Yeah.
That's where you get all the gnosis and knowledge and the.
And Leonardo da Vinci's.
Da Vinci. He was into alchemy.
He was into into everything that was cool.
He was into masonry for sure. He knew the Masons. They knew him, or you know.
Oh yeah.
They probably funded him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They all knew each other.
You think Da Vinci made money? No. He was a bum. He was a really artistic bum.
Yeah.
He didn't sleep. And they gave him grants. He was like the first scientist. No, I'm just kidding.
The first scientist. He got grants just as
first famous scientist.
Oh, with the 10% battery. Okay, we're good.
Oh,
all right. No, we just had 15%, so we can keep going for twice as long.
What time is it?
It is. I'm gonna cut this part out anyway.
See, also that's another thing. Before people used to say what time it is, immediately they got it. Now people are like fidgeting in their pockets.
Everyone has watches now. Exactly.
Now it's just like, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, we went.
I don't get enough time. Somebody else pulls it out for me, and then I'm fucking embarrassed.
We went from having pocket watches that we just keep in our pockets to having wristwatches, back to having watches that we have in our pockets, and now we have Apple Watches again.
Yes, we're
now everyone just look at it.
Good, and we're talking through it.
That was good.
Talking through it, yeah.
We were talking through it, yeah, dude. And no one.
It's 8:30.
No one knows why.
Let's cut it. We should cut it. Cut it in 4 minutes.
Cut it in 4 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
So what do we talk about in 4 minutes?
Talk about.
And a lot of this is getting cut out, so it's gonna end up being
Yeah.
like 15 minutes probably. Well, 15, 20. Dante, Leonardo.
I'm out.
I'm out too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, once you mention the end of the episode, that's when it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mentioned that in the last one. I was like, wait, what do you even talk about after you mentioning ending an episode? I don't know if it was with you or with Gio, but that's an interesting thing. If if you mention ending doing something, then all of a sudden your mind's gonna be on ending it. So like, just don't mention it until it's time. It probably was time, right?
A lot of people don't talk about.
It sparked this conversation, so.
A lot of people don't talk about the fact that the more you work on yourself and you start manifesting things,
right,
the more you really need to be careful with your thoughts, because they literally.
Negative thoughts create more negative thoughts.
It's no. It's that imagine. Your life will always be the same. But literally, the more you chase success, and evolving yourself,
right,
the more you need to be careful. The more you need to live biblically. You know why? Because it's dangerous. Like if the Dalai Lama, or like some really spiritual leader, if he decided to like be bad, like suddenly turn bad. That guy's in a world of shit. So
much shit.
Because he's so fucking powerful. He can actually, like Hitler. Big topic. People don't like Hitler. But listen, you don't get to do that if you're not powerful. That's a powerful fucking manifesting mind that he had. He could have helped. He could have helped the world, to be honest. He had the power to really help Earth in a very positive way, and he didn't. He was a madman.
Exactly.
And look what happened.
And now, exactly.
And he's paying for it.
He manifested, just keep like moving.
He manifested hell on earth. One man.
Yeah.
One man. Imagine what the whole world can do with power of manifestation.
Oh my God.
Imagine.
Yeah. So
we can create another Earth.
We
can turn the moon.
We're gonna
what is it?
Terraform
the fucking moon. Why are we doing that already?
Dude, I just think it's funny that they're trying to terraform Mars before they try to fix their own planet.
I think Elon is already a Martian. He's a descendant from the Martians.
We're all already aliens.
Yes.
Yes.
But there's groups of aliens here on Earth. Did you know that?
Explain.
There's several groups. So the first groups, and this will be the end. The first groups were like subhuman animal kinds. Mythical creatures. This is where all the myths and legends started coming from.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't just come from nowhere. They were real.
Exactly. Nobody comes up with this, okay? Monkeys can't come up with anything. They're like, oh, look at that. And then they talk about it and on fire, okay? They don't have imagination yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that, and then there's aliens that came from other places, landed on here, and they wanted to stay here. And then you have, everyone knows this, the Anunnaki. They came, they did some genetic stuff. They fucked some humans, and they made some alien breeds here and there.
Awesome, yeah.
And then you have, regular cavemen. And then after a while, everybody starts fucking everybody.
Naturally.
And here we are. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was definitely a good ending.
That was a good ending.
Thank you, guys. I hope it touched some of your guys' souls. Until next time, have a good one.
See ya.